So the new Modern Warfare 2 campaign early release drops today, and we're pretty excited to check it out. Now, if you're stuck at maybe school or work right now, you're excited to get home and boot up the game, and maybe we can make that wait a little bit easier with a couple Modern Warfare 2 inspired builds. If Call of Duty isn't your thing, well, at least you'll have some guns to look at. Last week we did the M16 and the P90, so check out that video if you haven't already. There were many builds we wished we could have gotten our hands on for this video. A Benelli M4 would have been sweet, called the Expedite 12 in-game, and it's confirmed that the legendary PSG-1 will be in the game as the LM-S. Let us know in the comments what weapon you're most excited to use in-game. We'll start with my personal favorite rifle from the beta, and a gun I'm so happy is getting more love these days, the lever action. This one's the A&K M1873, which is a little bit different from the Marlin 1895 in-game, with the most notable difference being a top ejection versus side ejection of the Marlin. There's just something about racking a lever gun. If you're a fan of manually chambering rounds like a bolt action or a pump action, lever action just completes the trio and, in my opinion, is the most satisfying of the three. Just like the real one, you can rack and then manually lower the hammer. Not the most useful in airsoft, but still a cool realism feature to play around with. If you're wondering if the proportions on this gun are a little bit funny, well, you'd be right. We swapped the short mare leg stock with a full-length stock from the full-length model, so you can actually get a pretty decent cheek weld. Sure, a CQB lever action might not be the most practical thing in the world, but sometimes you just gotta yeehaw indoors, and that's gotta be okay too. In the game, I always ran the lever action with just iron sights. Just something about classic iron sights on a classic gun just feels right to me. We went with the PTS Griffin iron sights, which have a solid metal build with a nice clicky action. A little bit tall aesthetically speaking, but somehow kind of fits the space western gun look. This model comes equipped with an M-LOK rail, so a plethora of accessories are available, but we decided to keep things simple with the APS Type B M-LOK hand stop. Wrapping the index finger in front of the stop gives a perfect landmark and feels very much like an AR platform for those used to that feel. Of course, I'm sure you noticed the little dangling Glock keychain. The ring on the left side of the receiver was just begging for a little charm, and you just can't get more Call of Duty than this. Though we wish we had a little single-action army revolver, this Glock will have to do. Hardly the most practical gun for airsoft, and even in Modern Warfare, it's situational at best, but the lever action still has a special place in my heart, and maybe it does for you too. Lining up a couple one-taps in a row is perhaps the most fun I've had in the beta. Here's to hoping more airsoft companies will come out with their own renditions. Next up is a gun that's been a pretty hot topic in the firearms world, the Sig MCX. This AEG version made by VFC. Not officially confirmed for Modern Warfare 2, but it was in 2019, and given the recent huge military contracts for Sig, I'd be surprised if this is a no-show for Modern Warfare 2. In my opinion, the most visually iconic area of the MCX is the large milled out M-LOK rail, with lots of angular cutouts for weight savings and better cooling. We tried to match the look with the Ranger Armory skeletonized M-LOK grip. Milled out of a solid block of aluminum, it's super strong while still being lightweight. With its simple, blocky profile, there are lots of hand position options, which we prefer over a grip that tends to force you into a set position. On top of the grip, we added a PEC 15. This one is a dummy unit by Lancer Tactical. You get the look with none of the weight, but the best part of a dummy unit is you can stuff a small lipo inside, which is great for guns with an awkward battery location. It's a great placeholder as well if you're going for a specific build, but want to save up a bit more money for a nicer unit down the line. Moving on to the front, we threw on a suppressor, this one made by Mad Bull and sadly discontinued. There are many similar QD options available, we just like the way this one complemented the MCX. For an optic, we opted for the G&G Elcan Spectre DR. A heavy beast, but built like a tank with a full metal build. The 1 to 4 times lever is a quick adjustment and a lot of fun to play around with. If you've lusted after gun builds in the last decade, you've probably spotted this locomotive looking optic, and though it's not the most practical on the field, it's become an iconic look that pairs quite nicely with the MCX. Finally, to round it all out, we swapped out the mag for a PTS EPM1S Shorty Midcap. We think that the modern aesthetics of the mag really work well with the gun, and the orange load indicator is a pretty nice touch. Fits and feeds very nicely, and this Shorty version gives it a kind of mini 308 battle rifle look that's just pretty sweet. Even with all the accessories, the gun handles very well, and the length is just at the top end for indoor CQB. We've heard a lot of good things from customers running their MCXs, and we hope we'll see it in the game as well. That's it for today. We hope you enjoyed our semi-tangentially somewhat Modern Warfare 2 inspired build. We definitely had a lot of fun putting them together, even with the limited stock availability. Let us know in the comments what you think of the new Modern Warfare 2. Maybe it's not your thing, and that's totally cool too. I'll admit I fell off the COD wagon years ago, but their latest releases have definitely roped me back in, and if it's anything like the beta was, I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. As always, thanks so much for watching, subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll catch you on the next one.